topic that affects every single voter out there, and we're talking about the economy and inflation. According to data from earlier this year, the average Virginia household has spent almost $25,000 more on goods and services since January of 2021 due to inflation. For many, it's simply crippling. Tell me specifically, should you earn that seat on Capitol Hill, what would you do to bring down those costs for Virginians?
Yeah, Scott, and before I answer the question, I want to thank you both for having me and giving me the opportunity. It saddens me, unfortunately, that my opponent's not willing to be here on stage tonight to talk about the issues that are affecting the people here in the 7th District. So, I hope that folks, when they go out to the ballot box come these next few weeks in November, they keep that in mind. But look, right now, the economy is crippling folks, right? Right now, we're seeing, and I'll tell you a quick story, there's a little girl by the name of Ella who wrote me a letter and put it in my P.O. box. And there's one line that stuck out to me that said, Derrick, can you fix the government so my mom can buy snacks again? This is a 10-year-old girl. This is a 10-year-old girl who realizes that right now the average Virginia family is paying about $1,100 more a month. About a third of Virginians right now are living paycheck to paycheck, and about 25% of Virginians are delinquent on their credit cards. Why? Because they're putting gas and groceries on their credit cards. Look, we need to get a balanced budget. I'm all for making sure we have a balanced budget. If we don't have a balanced budget, you shouldn't get a paycheck, right? That's how normal life is. We need to make sure taxes are low. We need to make sure we get U.S. energy back up and running. But again, my opponent, I'd like to ask him tonight if he was here whether or not he thinks that he's better off than he was 4 years ago, and I'd say that answer is no.
All right, we're going to turn to Nick Minot for the next two questions here. He covers Virginia extensively. He knows the congressional district very well. Nick?
Well, let's talk about Stafford County and Prince William County. This is the heart of the district. A large part of the population lives in those two counties, also Spotsylvania County, where you're from, right? So people in Prince William County and Stafford County, they have seen a noticeable increase in their property tax assessments. And we've also seen renters, they've seen hikes in their rents. So what would you do specifically in Congress to lower costs of living for those residents, especially folks who just can't afford increases in housing costs?
Yeah, and we see right now that taxes are really impacting the folks in the 7th Congressional District, specifically in those areas as well. And we talk about housing right now. Look, the average Virginia family right now, when I was growing up, I grew up in Spotsylvania County. My mom owned several small businesses. I was the guy in the back flipping burgers. But what I can tell you is that right now, the folks that were making $100,000 to $200,000 a year doesn't buy the average home. Why? Because interest rates are high and folks can't buy houses. What I'll tell you is that right now, my opponent, he'd be a rubber stamp for the Harris and Biden policies that got us into this mess. Look, if we talk about taxes, Kamala Harris has been open, and my opponent would support it. It was the EV mandate, right? EV mandate that would increase taxes by $1 trillion. The fact that folks can't even afford to live right now, they can't afford another $1 trillion in taxes. In fact, we talk about that EV mandate. It's got a tax credit to it, but that tax credit, we're borrowing from China, and then we're going to spend again on a Chinese-made vehicle, i.e. an EV. So again, they want to take away your gas-powered vehicles and increase your taxes by $1 trillion. And folks in the district just can't afford that right now.
And